Hello guys, Greg back with another video on the channel. It's all killer, no filler. So any of you guys that have followed me from the past might know that my other passion, along with fragrances, which is what this channel's really been about, is wristwatches. So I thought it'd be fun to start doing some reviews on my collection. I've got quite a lot of watches, so I'm going to try over the next few weeks and months to review all of them. I've started to do the fragrance reviews again as well, as you might have seen, and that's going to carry on. I'm going to try and do them side by side. Hopefully anyone that's here for the watch reviews will enjoy the fragrance reviews and vice versa. Apologies, I've got a bit of a cold, so my voice is all over the place. My sort of experience with watches is I am by no means an expert. I'm a fan. I appreciate the technology, but I don't get too sort of bogged down with it. You know, I'm not too concerned about the movement in the watch. It's all about how the watch looks and feels, and that's kind of what I'm going to try and do on these videos, just give you more of a feel for the watch, how it might look, you know, that kind of thing. I will give some specs and things, but I'm not going to get bogged down on that. Anyone that's watched me before know I am not an expert videographer by any means. I don't do any edits or anything. I point the camera and I shoot. So if I go wrong halfway through this video, I'm just going to crack on. It's just the way I do it, but hopefully you'll get some good footage and it will be interesting, of some use. So I'm going to flip the camera now, which again I'm going to do in one take, so it's going to be extremely unprofessional. But okay, so the watch that I've decided to review first is one from one of my favourite brands, and as you can see, the brand's Breitling. A brand that's got its fans, but it's also got a lot of people that don't like the brand, and we'll talk a bit more about why that might be later on. But the one that we're going to look at today is this one, which is the Breitling Top Time Triumph Edition, and straight away you can see that stunning ice blue dial. We'll look at that a lot more in a moment. I'm not going to get involved too much in the presentation and the boxes for these reviews, but I just wanted to say that Breitling's boxes are awful. I mean, this watch, the current version, retails at £6,100, and what you're getting is a flimsy piece of cardboard. I understand that the brand are trying to be sustainable, all brands are, but I just think you deserve a bit more for your money. They're not the only brand. Most brands don't pay much attention to that. Omega with being the real exception that really go all out with their presentation. So let's get into the watch, the interesting part. Hopefully the camera does this justice. You can see this beautiful ice blue dial. Some people call this the pizza dial. You might be able to see here the right and left hand side are more of a solid blue. It's cut into sections, and the top and the bottom are in the ice blue. But it was a key reason why I bought this watch. It comes on a calfskin leather strap. We'll look at that a little bit more in a moment. It's got these polished sides. The crown is not a screw down crown, so it's only got about 50 meters of water resistance. It's got these piston style pushers here for the chronograph. It's a standard sort of chronograph configuration on the dial. You've got the minute counter on the right there, and then you've got the seconds on the left. You've got the tachymeter scale going around the right hand side. A few specs on the watch. It's 41mm case, 51mm lug to lug. It's 14.2mm thick, so it does wear quite chunky. We'll have a look at that in a minute. Lug width is 20mm, and it tapers down to 18mm at the clasp here. But as I said before, that Breitling has its fans, but it's got its detractors as well. But since Georges Kern took over the brand in 2017, I think they've really diversified, and they've got a lot of classic style watches that are sort of a nod to the past, and this one's definitely one of those. This is a cafe racer style watch inspired by the 1950s and 60s watches of that style. And it really is a fantastic watch. It's obviously a land watch. You know, Breitling have their land, air and sea, and that's why it's only got a 50-meter water resistance. It's not supposed to be taken diving. It's very much a racing style watch. So this calfskin leather strap's got this really cool yellow on the inside. I'm going to put the wrist watch on my wrist just to show you how it wears. Now, if you've got a sort of thinner wrist than me, this part here will protrude more, and it literally sticks out. So you get this really cool contrast of the yellow against the black, and it's very visible when it's on your wrist, but because I've got fat wrists, only a little bit's protruding, so I don't get that, but you'll see what I mean if you ever have this watch. So that's what it looks like. My wrist is about 8 inches, wears really well. There's a look at the strap. So it's got this deployment here, you literally press there and it opens. So you set your size and you don't have to fiddle with that again. You just click the 2 buttons and then it clicks back into place like so. The movement in here it's a Breitling, I think it's a caliber 23, which is a modified AB01763 movement. This watch, I think, with that movement was limited to 1,500 pieces, and it retailed for about 4,100. The current version, if you want to buy this watch, it's not limited in numbers, but it has now got the Breitling B01 movement in there, and the price of this one is now 6,100. So it's actually quite an increase in price for the upgraded movement. I think, you know, as I said, the whole beauty of this watch is the dial. I think it's not very Breitling in its styling, but it's just fantastic. It just looks beautiful. So hopefully you get a good look and a good feel for it. The dial is the star of this one. So there you go, guys. That is my quick review of the Breitling Top Time Triumph Edition. Hopefully it wasn't too bad. First attempt at a watch review, but I shall try and improve. But I'll keep the reviews coming. Thanks very much for watching. Do leave some comments below. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you all soon with another video. Many thanks.